I hope you are all doing great. So today I will show you a picture and I know you guys are familiar with his face and his name. This is the picture. See, I know you are familiar with him. And his name. His name is Jose Rizal, our national hero of the Philippines. So Jose Rizal is the national hero of the Philippines. He was born on June 19, 1861 in the town of Calamba. His father's name is Francisco Mercado Rizal. This is her father's face. And his mother is Teodora Alonso Y. Quintos. This is the face of his mother. At the age of 3, Jose Rizal learned the alphabet from his mother. At the age of 5, while learning how to read and write, he already showed inclination to be an artist. At the age of 8, he wrote a Tagalog poem titled Sa Aking Mga Kabata. See how intelligent is Jose Rizal when he was young. He already shows his creativity. So, in the age of 24, he finished his course in philosophy letters with a grade excellent. Look, so proud. And with that, having traveled extensively in Europe, America, and Asia, he learned 22 languages. You know, it's so great to learn 22 languages. This include Arabic, Catalan, Chinese, English, French, Germany, and many more. In the hope of securing political and social reforms for his country, and at the same time educate his countrymen, Rizal, the greatest apostles of Filipino nationalism, published, while in Europe, several works with highly nationalistic and revolutionary tendencies. In March 1887, his daring book Noli Me Tangere, a satirical novel exposing the arrogance and despotism of the Spanish clergy. And also in September 18, 1991, El Filibusterismo, his second novel and a sequel to the Noli, and more revolutionary and tragic than the latter, was printed in gift. So that is the two most famous books of Jose Rizal. So Philippine Revolution started on August 26, 1896. His enemy lost no time in pressing him. From November 3, 1986 to the date of his execution, he was again committed to Fort Santiago. In his prison cell, he wrote an untitled poem now known was again as Ultimo Adios, which is considered a masterpiece and a loving document expressing not only a hero's great love of country but that of all Filipinos' love. That is how great is Jose Rizal is. So let's know about the view of Jose Rizal in our country. Jose Rizal views in our country conquered. A country like the Philippines should not be taken advantage of, but rather than should be developed, civilized, educated, and trained in the science of self-government. That is according to Jose Rizal. Now let's dive into one of his famous books titled Noli Me Tangere or Touch Me Not. So Crisostomo Ibarra, a young Filipino studied in Europe, returns home after 7 years with a dream of building a school to help educate his people. And let's move on to the next character. We have here Sisa, a poor mother, loses her son, Crispin and Basilio, to the cruelty of the guard. And Ibarra's fiancée, Maria Clara, is forced into convent because of Fiar's manipulation. Ibarra himself is accused of being and is hunted by the authorities. Being accused of being a rebel and hunted by the authorities. The story ends tragically with Ibarra fleeing for his life and Maria Clara trapped in the convent and many characters suffering. But Jose Rizal also released a second book titled El Filibusterismo or The Reign of Greed. 30 years later, Ibarra returns in disguise as Simon, a wealthy jewelry who secretly plans to overthrow the Spanish government. His plan unrevealed, and Simon is gravely wounded. He seeks refuge with Padre Florentino, a kind Filipino priest, and confesses everything before dying. This darker sequel shows that violence alone cannot achieve justice. Moral strength and unity are needed to real change. Through this book, Jose Rizal opened the eyes of many Filipino about the cruelty of the Spaniards. So now let's move on to the legacy and remembrance of Jose Rizal. First, we have what he can say about our youth and our future. There's famous quote, "The youth is the hope of the future." This iconic quote stresses the vital role of young Filipino in shaping the destiny of their country, and that on language and identity, he who does not love his own language is worse than an animal and a smelly fish. This powerful statement from his poem Sa Aking Mga Kabata underscores the connection between language and nation's liberty and identity. On education and ignorance, Jose Rizal said, "Ignorance is servitude. A man who does not think for himself is like a beast led by a halter." This quote emphasized that education empowers individuals to think critically and avoid being controlled by others. On his last death, or on the day of his execution, he said his last word, "Consummatum est," which means it is finished. These were Rizal's final words before his execution. So I have a photo here. This is the last photo taken before Jose Rizal was executed. Consummatum est is a Latin word for the phrase Jesus Christ spoke on the cross. He used it to signify the completion of his mission to liberate the Philippines. So I hope you all guys understand the life and how great the works of Jose Rizal, the life and experiences of Jose Rizal, and how he fought for our country. And I hope his sacrifices and his works will open our eyes and will make all his sacrifices worth it. So thank you, and thank you for listening.